Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for joining me today. So I'm going big. I've got a 40" by 20" canvas. I'm going to use a warm grey background. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to puddle 6 different colours across my canvas. But I'm almost going to do like a gradient pour where I'm going to do 2 colours first, then 3 colours, 4 colours, 5 colours, 6 colours. So it's going to go from an extreme of a burst of colour where all those colours are, right down to just 2 basic colours. I've done a colour palette challenge. I'm using exactly those colour palettes. Apart from the base, I've changed the base to a warm grey. You might have seen those. If not, check back on some of my videos and hopefully you'll have fun watching the colour palette evolve and transform as we add colours. But for this piece, I'm adding all my colours to just one large canvas, starting off with 2 colours, ending with 6. I'm really excited to do this. I'm going to try and show you as much of detail as possible, and I might almost include some more finger swipes in this piece too, just to add a little bit more flow to this piece. All my colours, all my paints are mixed with just water, 1 part paint to 1 part water. There's a lot more information about how I paint and other things that are on offer in my description box below, so don't forget to check that out. And if you've not yet subscribed to my channel, please do so. It's free for you to do and you help me grow as an artist online. So thank you so much for all of your support. So let's see what we can create. So I'm just going to prepare my base, and I'm going to start off by pouring all the paint for my base in the middle of the canvas. And then what I do is I use my blow dryer on a cool setting and blow the paint from the middle to the outer edge. I always start like this because it really helps me get good coverage, and it also assists me to getting good consistency throughout the whole canvas. So I've blown the air bubbles out using my torch, and now I'm just going to spread the paint across the canvas using my blow dryer. I'm a big believer, and experience has taught me that getting the consistency and coverage right on your canvas before you start creating is a key to the success of your creation overall. For my colour palette, I'm using 6 colours. They're all listed in the description box below, so check that out. But first of all, I want to work out where I'm going to place my puddles before I blow them out on the canvas. I do want 6 puddles, but what I am doing now, as you'll see, is I'm just taking a little bit of paint to work out where to put the puddles before I do blow them out. So I'm literally just putting a little bit of paint on the canvas. It helps me visualise where I'm going to layer my paints and puddle the paints up. So I do want 6 puddles. I want to start in one corner and finish in the opposite corner. So I'm just working out now where I want those. I do take some time to think about that. I think about the distance between each puddle. I think about the area that's involved. I think about the negative space that I want to keep on my canvas, bearing in mind each of those puddles will have a volume of paint up to 6 colours in each puddle, and blowing them out will increase that volume of paint on my canvas. So it's really about thinking what you want to achieve in terms of the colours that you're using and the negative space that you want to keep. So each of the puddles, each 6 puddles, will contain Prussian blue, and they will also contain white. So I'm just going to add white now on top of the Prussian blue. And as I said, I wanted to do like a gradient pour. So there's a burst of colour of all the colours in one puddle, going down to just a couple of colours at the end. So as I add a colour, I'm not adding them to each of the puddles. So you'll see on the far right, I've only kept the blue and the white in one puddle, and I've added gold to all the other puddles. I'm now going to take my next colour, and I'm not going to add the colour in two of the puddles. I'm just going to add the next colour, which is the Ultramarine Violet, into the next puddle. So only 4 of those will have that colour, and so on. So as I get to my end puddle, I will have all of the colours, but my first puddle will only have 2 of the colours. I hope that makes sense, but if you watch along, you'll see that I'm only adding the green to those 3 puddles now. Let me just show you each of those liquid puddles, one by one, before I start blowing them out with my hairdryer. My hairdryer is on a cool setting, and it's on the lowest setting possible. I'm not adding any more paint to my surface. I've got more than enough paint on the surface of the canvas to allow a good blowout with each of those puddles. But as I'm doing that, I am really thinking about the negative space that I want to keep, so the grey that will shine through, and how much space I want to leave between each of those puddles, because right at the end, I'm going to use my finger, and I'm going to do some finger swipes to connect each of those puddles in turn, one by one. That's going to really help with the movement of the piece. So when you do this yourself, and I'd love for you to do this yourself, let me know if you do in the comments below. Just take time between each puddle. Don't rush this process. Just enjoy doing one puddle at a time. Don't worry about the last puddle that you've got on your canvas. Just really enjoy being in the present moment and concentrating on the puddle that you're currently blowing out. Really look at the colours as they interact with each other. Have a look at the parts that you want to blow over the edge and the parts that you're really happy with that you want to keep. So just do this one by one, and then what we'll do is we'll go on to the next stage of the process where we use our fingers to connect each of these puddles in turn. I'm really happy with how this is turning out, and I'm loving looking back to see how I just started off with 2 colours and then end up with this real big burst of colour this end. I'll take you in now for a close-up of each of the puddles so you can see how they're reacting, how the colours are reacting with each other, and you can see the tones and the shades that have been created by blowing the colours into one. And then I'm going to use my finger to join up those puddles and create some movement between each piece. So I'm just taking some time now to use my finger and connect each of those puddles with each other. I'm placing my finger in the paint and just slowly moving my finger within the paint from one puddle to the other. That's going to connect each of those puddles, and I'm going to do that with each of them. You'll see here that I'm not applying too much pressure. I'm literally placing my finger in the paint, allowing enough paint to go around my finger to be able to drag it from one puddle to the next to connect those two puddles together. Let me now show you a close-up of this piece. Now I've added the finger swipes in, you can see how the puddles have been blown out, and then the finger swipe has helped connect each of those puddles one by one across the whole piece. So this is the wet version. I will let this dry, and then I'm going to take you in for a close-up of the dry version. So here we go, here's the dry version. I'm going to take you in now for a close-up so you can see all those details. You can see how the gold has really created some of that cell and lacing reaction. You can also see how just by using those two colours, just the white and the blue, is actually really interesting because it's created some different tones and shades. And then you'll see how the puddles transform, because I've added one extra colour to each of those puddles until we get that big burst of colour right at the end. I really do love how the paints have really immersed and emerged with each other to create a unique design within each of those puddles. Let me know what puddle you like best. Let me know if you really like the base colour. I'm actually really enjoying working with grey. I think it's a really nice neutral colour. It's not too cold. It's quite a warm grey that I've used. And I think it's worked really well with these other colours that I've used within the puddles, because it really helps those other colours pop out of this piece. So I'm going to leave you with some of the details now. Don't forget to check out the description box because it lists lots of information. And I just want to take this opportunity to thank you so much, each and every one of you, for watching, for all of your support, all of your likes, all of your comments and all of your emails. I really enjoy connecting with you, and I'm so grateful that you support me as an artist. So until next time, take care of yourselves, and I really do hope I get to see you again in the next video. And don't forget to check out some of my older videos too. There's so much information on my channel with different techniques, so I hope you enjoy those. See you soon, everyone. Take care of yourselves, and remember, when you're creating, be kind to yourself. See ya. Bye.